Welcome to our weekly discussion of all things current in California politics. I'm Walt Gray, joined this week by political analyst Steve Swatt. Steve, glad to have you here. Let's jump right into it. Research-wise, with voters, the economy is the number one thing that they're most concerned about. But unemployment is low at 4.1%. Inflation is cooling. It's at 2.4%, the lowest since 2021. The U.S. has added 254,000 jobs last month. So what is it about the economy that people are so concerned about?
Well, I'll tell you, the Democrats are baffled about this also because they can't figure it out. And a number of economists are using the phrase vibe-cession, short for vibe recession. The economy numbers may be good, but it's not affecting them that well. For example, they go to the grocery store. They're still paying prices that are much higher than they were before the pandemic. And so even though it may have eased off a little bit, they're not really feeling that. They go into a grocery store, and when they buy a box of cereal, it used to cost $4 for 15 ounces, and now it costs $4 for 13 ounces.
Shrinkflation, yeah.
Shrinkflation. So I think that's part of it.
Yeah, a lot of it has to do with what you're specifically paying at the grocery store. The gas tax vote, the governor signed that the other day. Not necessarily a tax, but making sure refineries have supplies in the event of maintenance. Right. How do you see this going? There's a lot of talk both sides on this.
There is a lot of talk on both sides, and we're not going to know for a while until we see the regulations and how they affect the refineries. But basically, the legislation will require that these refineries keep extra supply of gasoline on hand when they go shut down periodically for maintenance. And because the administration says that California motorists spent an extra $2.2 billion last year with these price hikes. Now, the oil industry says it's not going to work that way, because what happens if these regulations are piled onto the refineries? What happens if they are required to build new infrastructure to hold all of this gasoline that they're supposed to hold now? That will be passed on to consumers, and so we'll see perhaps an increase in prices. Yeah,
we will see. The governor himself even said next summer is the first time we'll really get to see how this thing rolls out, well, if it does, indeed. Recent policy poll, Institute of Government Studies in Berkeley, shows Kamala Harris in California struggling with the Latino vote. Is this something that could happen nationally?
Yes, and the pollsters believe that what is happening in California could be happening in some other states, and that could be very crucial, of course, in states like Arizona, which is one of those battleground states. But what it shows in California, Kamala Harris doesn't have to worry about California, but what it shows is concerning to her campaign, because it shows that she is leading with the Latino vote 54 to 35%. But consider the fact that 4 years ago, President Biden received 75% of the Latino vote in California. So there has been some shrinkage there, and that is a great concern.
All right, last question quickly to you. It isn't necessarily about either candidate for president getting the undecideds. Is it about the candidates getting their vote out?
I knew where you were going with this. It's voter turnout.
Yes.
Voter turnout is everything. And that's why they're spending hundreds of millions of dollars to try to get their voters out. And, you know, Kamala Harris is not going to get any Trump supporters. But if she gets all of her supporters out and gets some of these Latinos, for example, back into the fold, the feeling is pretty good for her.
Yeah, the undecideds are going to be that. You can't rely on that. But if you get your own people out, that should be enough.
It's all about turnout.
It is. All right, Steve Swatt, thank you for joining us, political analyst for many years. We appreciate you coming by. All right, folks, have a great rest of your weekend.